Welcome back to Switzer. Every now and then, when the money gods are kind to me, they deliver the queen of inside information, who is none other than Julia Lee from Bell Direct. And she's going to share with us her secret stock she likes for 2014. How are you, Julia?
What an intro, Pete.
I thought you deserved a really good one for the first one of the year. Yeah, it's true. Over the year, I get this, the joy of interviewing you, and at the beginning of the year you always have some good ideas. I know you threw some other topics in as well, just in case you run out of stocks, but I want to start off with the Julia Lee crushing stocks that you come up with. So what do you think for the year generally? Let's start in the big picture. What do you think's going to happen on the Aussie stock market?
I think the first thing to remember is that most things move in cycles, and if you get that on the market, then things are relatively easy. So interest rate cycles, earnings cycles, and in terms of the earnings cycle, this is a pivotal year where we're turning into positive earnings. Yeah. So that's great news because these earnings cycles typically go for around about 5 to 7 years.
Love that.
First year of a positive growth in terms of the earnings cycle should be good news for the Aussie share market.
About 6 months ago or 3 months ago, everyone was really upbeat about earnings in the upcoming season. They seem to have pulled back a bit of their enthusiasm. Are you seeing that?
Oh, we did get a few profit warnings, some big ones. QV Insurance comes to mind, some of the mining services companies.
But not generally, you're not expecting earnings to disappoint?
No.
Good girl, I love it.
About 13% growth for the current financial year.
Yeah.
Should be good.
So it starts in what date? You know the starting date for earnings season?
February. So we'll be looking at February. Some of them have already started, but they're the ones out of the ASX.
Okay, so by end of February, we have a real good idea whether this earnings has come through. Okay. All right. So if the earnings do impress, it should carry our market up.
Absolutely, but I think it's important to understand which sectors are going to carry our market.
Of course, and that's why you're here. The secret stocks of Julia Lee.
A lot of people love the banks at the moment, and the banks have had a phenomenal run. They've seen record profit numbers, some good growth coming through, but it's really been this chase for yield that's driven the banks. Yeah. Last year, the banks, returned around about 30% once you include the dividends, and about 40% for NAB. Yeah.
I think Graham Richardson thinks he's a genius. He bought the 4 banks and Telstra.
And that's the kind of strategy that you want to do.
I told him it wouldn't last forever. He was a bit surprised when he heard that, but go on.
But I think looking forward, I don't think bank stock prices are going to fall out of the sky. No. But what I do think is you want to choose those sectors where you're seeing growth in earnings, an increasing growth in earnings rather than a declining earnings profile. And I guess with the banks, if we have a look at the growth that we saw last financial year, it was 8% growth. This financial year, it will probably be 6% growth. And then next financial year, it will probably be 5% growth.
So you don't have to dump them. You don't have to dump them unless you think you can dump them and buy something that's going to be sensational. But that's a pretty tough play, isn't it?
So I think the banks and telecom, we're looking at the cycle when we're seeing declining growth coming through from those areas. So
still growth, but declining growth.
Still growth, but just a bit of cautiousness given valuations and how they've traded, and that's not really going to sustain 20 to 30% returns.
Give us the number one favourite sector for Julia Lee.
Number one. Oh, I think I'd have to say this is a year that the material stocks are going to come back.
The HP and Rio.
The HP Rio.
My viewers out there would be loving you now,
Well, it's all about earnings.
I think Roger Montgomery could come to the program and ruin this wonderful moment you're sharing with us.
We could have another debate. But I guess last year, we saw negative earnings growth coming out of this resource sector. Yeah. And now with these iron ore miners, Rio Tinto, Fortescue and BHP Billiton, we're seeing an increase in production and prices holding up relatively well. Yep. So the resource space as a whole is predicted to grow by 30%. So what we are seeing is a turnaround in terms of the earnings profile. So that's one exciting area. I think the other exciting area are some of the cyclical areas like consumer discretionary. For example, the retailers.
Okay, and I asked Peter Esho this tonight, and Pete couldn't come up with a company he really liked. But I'm really glad you mentioned it, because I think it's due for these companies to have a good run. So what is your favourite company in your second favourite sector?
If I had to choose one company, it would be Kathmandu in this space.
Kathmandu? Really? Is that because you're going skiing in Japan and you're going to be wearing Kathmandu gear or something?
Maybe.
Maybe, okay.
But, you know, a specialty store, it has strong rates of growth, it's still expanding, great management, very strong margins because they have their own branding as well, and that's going to continue throughout this financial year. A strong dividend coming through. And these are the types of stocks that you want, still reasonably valued for the amount of growth that they offer. So you want to see an increasing growth profile.
Are they influenced by the low dollar? Does the low dollar help them or hurt them? Because some retailers benefit and some don't.
Well, Kathmandu does also operate in New Zealand, and the New Zealand dollar's been very strong against the Aussie dollar. So I guess that's been a little bit of a negative for Kathmandu. So currency is a consideration, but it is expanding rapidly here in Australia as well.
Okay, what about the big retailers like Harvey Norman? Do you think Jerry's going to have a good period for 2014?
I think he's going to have a better period, and that's really because one of the key themes in 2014 will be the strong housing market, and that's going to propel along a number of different areas. JB Hi-Fi, the Harvey Normans of the world will be doing more, as they have been. That will continue on. But also the building material companies. Now, construction does tend to be more of a little bit of a lag behind our sales, and of course the developers in the property space as well. I think one of the things we've seen with this property boom that's happening at the moment is that there is a preference for apartments.
Yes, most definitely.
And a lot of the boom has been in New South Wales and WA so far. So looking at some of those property stocks with exposure to those areas, you're probably looking at companies like Cedarwood, AV Jennings, Stockland, just to name a few.
Yeah, I was wondering whether you thought Stockland was ready for a rise.
Yeah, well, you know, it's been relatively cheap given what it's been through the last few years, but I think the macro factors are moving in its favour. So the housing market's looking good, and then, of course, media. It's been beaten down. But this is another...
Like even Jeff Wilson thought 10 was a buy. Like, are you a 10 girl as well?
I am a 10 girl as well. It's just been...
Did you get in early, or you jumped on the trend, and your trend is your friend?
I think we spoke about 10 the last time.
I think you did too. I thought you were on medication when you said that too.
But once again, this is all about understanding the cycle. Last financial year, media had a negative year.
Yeah.
This financial year, it will have a positive year, and next financial year, it will be a better year. And these are the types of trend that investors should be trying to...
Okay, so 10, I like its management change. I thought Hamish McLennan was a good selection. Big Bash seems to have done well, but do we buy it on the strength of those two things? Or you're saying it's the cycle that's going to be the good thing?
I think the cyclical factors are moving in the favour of media stocks, and it's going to uplift the whole sector. So advertising revenue is really a key. Now, 10 does have problems with its programming, and this isn't going to happen
How's
overnight.
that breakfast show going? Do you ever watch it?
I do watch it sometimes, actually.
Yeah, well, it's your age group.
I have a television now, so...
Oh, well done. Big tick for you. That must have been good for Jerry Harvey, or did you buy it from Bing Lee?
No, I actually got it from...
All right. So you think... But the thing about what worries me is, well, that makes you feel good, because I'm tipping that this Aussie economy is going to get stronger as the year goes on. So if you're saying that 10 is going to benefit from a cyclical improvement, you must think that the Aussie economy is going to grow better than 2.5%, which the Treasury and Reserve Bank have been saying.
Well, I think certain areas of the economy will do better than others. The mining space, we're still seeing a bit of a pullback in terms of capital expenditure. So I think the mining services area, we should still be wary until we see those big miners like BHP and Rio Tinto ramping up capital expenditure, and at the moment they're still cost-cutting. Their cost-cutting programs are ahead of schedule, and all these type of things are a negative for mining services companies. So we want to see the mining companies spending money.
So mining services, if you buy them now, you might get them a good price, but you might have to wait a few years before you actually see returns?
Well, I just think that it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster ride. So if you can stomach the volatility and you can pick the good ones out of the sector, I don't think all of them are going to be around in another 3 years' time. I think you want to find the ones that are probably exposed more to oil and gas, because that's where the money's spent.
Well, that's why Peter Esho went for Wally Parsons, because he said, well, they have a big exposure to oil and energy. Do you agree with that?
Wally Parsons, Logicams is a smaller one. Logicams is a smaller one with exposure to that oil and gas space. But once again, I think a little bit of cautiousness. I mean, it was only this week that we saw Shell coming out with that fourth quarter profit result. Their fourth quarter earnings pretty much halved from around about a year ago, and they're a big spender in Australia, so just being careful because they're involved in a lot of wood.
Yeah, it worries me, that sector at the moment. What about Myer and David Jones? What's your view on them?
I think there's still going to be challenges. I mean, one of my favourite shops, I shouldn't say, is Uniqlo, and they're not in Australia.
What?
Uniqlo. So it's a Japanese retailer.
Okay.
They're expanding rapidly all over the globe. They're actually coming to Australia.
Is it like a Topshop type or
type of thing,
a Zara
they do
type business?
So, you know, if you want a 100% wool cardigan.
I've seen Uniqlo. I've seen Uniqlo in New York. Is it in New York? Yeah, that's right.
That's where I found in the New York shop. But they're opening up a couple of stores in Australia. So I think this is a space which is seeing increasing competition, also a competition through the web still going on, and I think they still have a bit of catching up to do. But the cyclical factors, I think, are moving in their favour, because I think consumers are going to start spending a little bit more confidence coming to consumers. The housing market's doing good. The wealth effect, I think these things will be good.
You said this could be a good year for media, but could you be tempted to buy Fairfax? I got to say, I like reading Fairfax products, but they don't seem to make great decisions, do they?
Well, it's all about advertising revenue, and I think it's a little bit more difficult translating that advertising revenue into the internet spend. But Fairfax...
No. So that's not one of yours. Before we go, what is the really impressive stock you want to hold for this year?
Quickly,
my director said, quickly.
I really want to look at the small cap space, because I think the large cap space already looking overvalued. Two interesting stocks. One is Empire. It's in the IT.
Empire?
Empire. They're out with their results, I think, next week.
And next one?
The other one would be Select Harvest.
Select
California
Harvest.
makes up 80% of our...
Gotta go, Julia, and they were great. Fantastic, and thanks for delivering as always. If you want to read my thoughts at the close of Wall Street each morning, check out my website, switzer.com.au. They're winding me up. I've got to go. I'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for joining us.